What's up, guys? Alvaro here, and welcome to the bilingual stock market channel again. On this channel, we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. And in this video, and as I do it Mondays through Thursdays, I want to make a quick stock market update. So I want to break down some technicals, going over S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, but I also want to break it down from a technical standpoint some stocks and one meme coin that tomorrow are going to be on the very top of my personal watch list. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. And what do you know, guys? The markets killed it today. We had a very nice green day all across the board, at least when it comes to the major indices. So the Russell 2000 went up 0.89%, Nasdaq went up 0.90%, Dow Jones went up 0.18%, and the S&P 500 went up 0.47%. And if we take a look at the sectors that trade inside the S&P 500, obviously, guys, the best performing sector today by far was consumer discretionary, shout out to Tesla, mainly because of Tesla. So this sector went up today 1.75% because Tesla went on an absolute tear today. And let's just put it this way, Amazon and Tesla are the most important, let's say, stocks inside the consumer discretionary sector. The worst performing sector today, not by much, was the financial sector, which went down today 0.18%. And something that is worth pointing out here, guys, is that lately the financial sector hasn't been behaving in a correlated way relative to the 10-year treasury yield. And these two elements of the stock market usually behave in a correlated way. And that's exactly what happened today. So the financial sector went down not much, only 0.18%, and the 10-year treasury yield also went down today. And before going over S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, I want to show you guys some trades that I closed in today's trading session, starting with PayPal, guys. So this is a trade that I showed you guys in the video that we posted, last Wednesday, I think. So on October 21st, I bugged the dip as soon as the news about the news that stated that supposedly PayPal was going to purchase Pinterest. So that news ended up being fake news. So PayPal isn't going to buy Pinterest, and today PayPal went up a lot pre-market. Then we saw PayPal retracing and pulling back as soon as the trading session opened. But take a look at this. In the case of PayPal, I timed this trade perfectly well. So I purchased 50 shares on October 21st at $248.26, paying $12,412. And this morning I sold, guys, my 50 shares at $255. This was the highest price for PayPal in today's trading session, and I was paid $12,750. So I ended up making over here $338. Another trade that I closed today, but I didn't time it as well as I timed the trade on PayPal, was with Affirm. And in the case of Affirm, guys, I left a lot of money on the table. So let me show you. In the case of Affirm, I purchased on October 19 20 shares at $154.39, and then on October 22nd, I purchased 20 more shares at $155.87. So today I sold out of these 40 shares at $159.51, and I was paid $6,380. I ended up making over here something like $180. It was not a lot of money. This was a base hit, and those are the ones that put us in the Hall of Fame. And, you know, I timed the trade on PayPal perfectly well, but in the case of Affirm, I ended up leaving a lot on the table. So whatever, that's simply business as usual. And another trade that I wanted to show you was with Didi. Yeah, I was almost forgetting about that. So in the case of Didi, guys, as of now, I have an unrealized loss of $275 because I own 500 shares at $9.37, and today I decided to sell 5 covered calls that expire on November 26th. So I was paid $230, okay, because I sold these 5 contracts that, as I just said, expire on November 26th with a strike price of $10.50. So I ended up making over here $230. And if DD happens to be above at $10.50 or above $10.50 by the expiration date, I am going to be selling out of my shares, making something like a 600 or 700 buck profit. Nothing to sneeze at either. And I also want to show you a trade that I closed today with ChargePoint, but I am going to show you guys the trade once I go over ChargePoint, because that's another stock that I am going to break down from a technical standpoint in today's video. S&P 500 went up today 0.47%, and it closed today's trading session at 4,566 points. And obviously, guys, this index is still very overbought. We can see the relative strength index of the S&P at 78 points. So if you ask me, I would like to see a retracement of the S&P 500 down to 45.46, which happens to be a former all-time high, or even better, guys, if the S&P can drop down to 45.23, 45.25, that is going to be very healthy from a technical standpoint. And long story short, guys, I just want to see a little drop in a process of consolidation slightly above 45.25. That would be the healthier scenario for the S&P 500, because as of now we are very overheated. In terms of overhead resistance, and as I said in the introduction of this video, we have a brand new all-time high in the case of the S&P at 4,572 points. So we are pretty much in no man's land. So how higher can the S&P 500 go? 4,600. You guys know that for the most part, fat numbers act like a magnet for stocks and indices. So yeah, I would say that the next big resistance for the bulls of the S&P is going to be 4,600. But in my case, I would love to see a retracement, a pullback down to either 45.47 or 45.25. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Nasdaq 100. And after having taken a look at the Nasdaq 100, I want to show you guys the earnings, the most important earnings that are going to be reported tomorrow. And after that, I am going to check on Facebook, which should have already reported earnings as of now, 4:17 Eastern Standard Time, 4:17 p.m. So Nasdaq 100 went up today 1.04%. This was the best performing index out of the bunch. And the Nasdaq 100 closed today's trading session at 15,514 points. The NDX, guys, is not as overheated, as overextended, as overbought relative to the S&P 500, because we can see the relative strength index of this index at 71 points. However, I would like to see a pullback and a process of consolidation slightly above 15,400 points, which happens to be a former area of resistance in which the bulls of the NDX failed back in late August. That would be the healthier scenario for the NDX. The next important area of overhead resistance for the NDX is pretty much, guys, all-time high at 15,700 points. So tomorrow we have very important stocks reporting earnings, and throughout this week, guys, and I believe we can make the case that if Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and so forth, Facebook, which should have already reported earnings, happen to report better than expected earnings, we are very likely to see the NDX bursting above all-time high at 15,700 points. In my case, you guys know that I don't like to see any index or stock being very overbacked and overextended. I would like to see a retracement down to 15,400 points and a process of consolidation at 15,400 points or slightly above that area. And now let me show you guys quickly the most important earnings that are coming out tomorrow. So before open, we have UPS, General Electric, 3M, Lockheed Martin, JetBlue, and Waste Management. We also have Eli Lilly reporting before earnings. And after close, I am actually thinking, guys, that tomorrow's video, I am going to skip the indices, the sectors of the S&P 500, maybe the introduction of the video. I am just going to go over all of the earnings that are going to be reported tomorrow after close, because we have AMD, Microsoft, Google, Visa, Twitter, Enphase Energy, Robinhood, Texas Instruments, and QuantumScape. Wow. So we are talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 very important earnings according to my criteria, except for QuantumScape. But QuantumScape is a stock that we all, track. So yeah, I think that tomorrow's video is going to be exclusively about the earnings that are going to be reported tomorrow. And now let's go ahead and take a look, guys. This is going to be live reaction. Facebook, what is going on in the case of Facebook? And I don't want to see the price. Let me see. So, take a look at this, guys. Facebook killed on earnings. It is trading. Let me pull up here the 1 day, 1 minute. So Facebook is trading at $335. It is up a good chunk after hours. Let me see. So Facebook closed at $328. And as of now, it is trading at $335. It is up 2%. Nothing crazy, but it is up after hours. So what happened in the case of Facebook? Let me pull up here the live news tab, and let's see if TD Ameritrade can let me read the earnings report quickly, because at times the live news tab of TD Ameritrade is not really, let's say, friendly, right? So let's see. Monthly active users, a very important metric when it comes to these kind of social media stocks. So monthly active users in the case of Facebook were 2.91 billion. Wow. As of September 30th, an increase of 6% year over year. Okay, so daily active users were 1.93 billion on average for September 2021, an increase of 6% year over year. Okay, that's fine. So where is the, okay, let me see. Facebook sees Q4 total sales $31.5 billion up to $34 billion versus $34.89 billion estimate. So they are pretty much guiding as expected for Q4 when it comes to sales. And what about, what is CPS at here? I don't see it. Okay, let me see. This is live reaction, guys, you know. So where the heck is EPS? Okay, let me see. Okay. Facebook posts Q3 EPS of $3.22 on revenue of $29 billion versus street consensus of $3.18 per share. So they beat on EPS, and revenue was expected at $29.5 billion. So they missed on revenue, guys, by a hair. They beat on EPS, and they are pretty much guiding when it comes to Q4 as expected. And when it comes to daily active users, I mean, I have the figures, right? But I don't have the competitive when it comes to daily active users. But the market seemed to be happy, guys, with the report that that Facebook is posting, even though they missed on sales. Definitely, sales were expected at $29.5 billion, and sales came in at $29.01 billion. So the reaction of the markets is positive as of now, right? Let me see. Let me pull up here once again the 1 day, 1 minute. And yeah, Facebook is up after hours. So what could happen tomorrow for Facebook? The next gap that the bulls of Facebook need to fill is up to $343. I am going to draw a line over here, guys. So $343 acted as resistance. This was on October 19 and October 20th. And we are also talking about a former area of resistance back from late June, and also we are also talking about a former area of support back from early August. So, and taking into account that Facebook is trading as of now at $338. Facebook is about to make a test of $343. So what's out tomorrow, guys? I'm thinking that if the bulls of Facebook can take on $343, they might even be able to fill the next gap up to this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart at $351, which happens to be a former area of support back from mid-August and also back from early August. So watch out for this push to the upside of Facebook, guys, from $339 up to $350. We are looking at a 3% profit. So it was a very decent earnings report for Facebook, and this is a very important stock in terms of market cap, guys. So we could make the case that Facebook would be able tomorrow to push both the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 higher. And now let's go ahead and take a look at ChargePoint, which is going to be the second stock of this video. And in the case of ChargePoint, the stock of this company went on an absolute tear today. It went up 7.68%, and it closed today's trading session at $22.99. And for the most part, guys, most of the EV related stocks did great today. We could make the case that that was the Tesla effect. Let's just put it that way. And let me show you, by the way, the trade that I closed on ChargePoint today, guys, because I ended up making today $944 each. When it comes to the trades that I closed, it was a very solid day for me. So on September 2nd, that wasn't a trade, was it? Yeah, on September 2nd, I purchased 100 shares at $22.94, paying $2,293. And take a look at this, guys. On September 3rd, I sold a put of ChargePoint that expired on October 8th with a strike price of $21, and I was assigned the shares because ChargePoint was below $21 by the expiration date. So I was paid $141, and I was assigned stocks, or I was assigned shares of a stock that I like a lot, which is the case of ChargePoint. So I ended up having a position of 200 shares, and today I sold out of my 200 shares at $22.96, and I was paid $4,592. So I made $200, give or take, out of this trade. But mind you, I also sold a put, and I was paid $141. So we can make the case that I got out of this trade making $340 in general terms. This was a very solid trade, and that's why I love selling puts of stocks that I would like to purchase shares of that stock at a lower price, at a discounted price. So in the case of ChargePoint, we can see, and talking about the technical analysis, we can see that the relative strength index of ChargePoint is very high. It is at 71 points. And as of now, guys, ChargePoint is right at a very important area of overhead resistance at $23. $23 is a previous area of support back from early August and also back from mid-May. So I'm thinking, guys, that since the relative strength index of ChargePoint is very elevated, it is at 71 points, I would like to see a process of consolidation of ChargePoint, sorry guys, slightly above $23, so the bulls of ChargePoint can gather momentum and energy in order to make another push higher and potentially pay a visit to the next important area of overhead resistance for ChargePoint at $26.60. $26.60 is a previous area of overhead resistance back from early August and also back from mid-July. So if I were able to enter to another trade on ChargePoint at let's say $23.18, $23.20 each, and if I can take this trade the way that I am describing it, writing my shares up to $26.60, I could be making and 12% profit, guys. This is nothing to sneeze at. And mind you, take a look at how I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart. Today we saw the clear formation of a golden cross. You guys can see how this 50 SMA already crossed above this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So this is bullish, no doubt about it. So I wouldn't be surprised if the bulls of ChargePoint start to consolidate slightly above $23, so they can gather momentum to make another push higher and fill this next gap up to $26.60. And speaking of the devil, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at Tesla. And in the case of Tesla, this was a perfect tsunami today, guys. So we had Morgan Stanley upgrading Tesla with a price target of $1,200. And on top of that, Hertz announced that they want to purchase 100,000 Model 3 of Tesla by late 2022. So this was like the perfect positive storm for Tesla. And Tesla went up today 12.66%. Shout out to all of the Tesla shareholders, myself included. We have gone through a lot of pain. It's been a very wild ride, and this is just starting out. I truly believe that the best is yet still to come. And today, this company reached an amazing milestone, guys, of a market cap of $1 trillion. So this was a phenomenal day for every single Tesla shareholder out there. So cheers, guys, to Tesla. Okay. Let me show you the way real quickly, right? How is my Tesla position looking like as of now? Quickly, guys, because I still need to go over Dwac and Shiba Inu. So this is my main trading and investment portfolio. Here I own 110 shares of Tesla at an average cost of $263.23. And as of now, I have an unrealized loss of $84,000. And no, guys, I am not thinking about selling not even one single share of Tesla. This is a long-term investment for me. And I would say that my price target is more a market cap related price target. I would be thinking about selling out of my Tesla position, my two Tesla positions, because I also have another position in my second trading and investment portfolio once Tesla hits a $3 trillion market cap. So I am not in a rush, obviously. If any of you wants to take a trade on Tesla, take a look at the relative strength index. It is extremely elevated, 89 points. So Tesla is absolutely due for a pullback. And I am going to pull up here the 1-hour chart. And I'm thinking, guys, that if Tesla happens to drop down to $912, which happens to be an area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Tesla failed on Friday, and that also coincides with this 50 SMA on the 1-hour chart, I think that at $910, the relative strength index is going to be way lower relative to the spot that it is as of now. And I think that that is a spot in which a lot of technical traders and support buyers, such as myself, are going to be waiting for Tesla, $910. Watch out for that, guys, because if we pick up some shares of Tesla at $910, and if we sell out of our shares at, let's say, $1,000, we are looking at an 8% profit. And now let's go ahead and take a look at this joke, guys. This is going to be a quick analysis. Dwac, Digital World Acquisition, whatever. So this is the joke with which Mr. Donald Trump wants to compete against Google, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter. So good luck with that, man. The stock of this company went down today 10.98%, and it closed today's trading session at $83.86. And this is a classic pump and dump. Not Trump and pump, but pump and dump. So guys, I would be able to take a fun trade with something like 10 shares if this piece of garbage of Digital World Acquisition, whatever, happens to pay a visit down to $50. $50 is an area in which this special purpose acquisition company failed on 1, 2, and 3 occasions last Thursday. So I'm thinking, guys, that if this piece of garbage of digital world acquisition happens to pay a visit down to this former area of overhead resistance, then we are likely to see a former area of overhead resistance that now should act as a new support. So maybe I might think about purchasing 10 shares just to have some fun. And let's say that I pick up 10 shares at $50, and if I happen to catch a bounce back up of Digital World Acquisition Corp, so from $50 up to, let's say, $73, I am looking at a 30% profit, guys. I wouldn't be mad about this trade. As I just said, from $50 up to $72, which happens to be a former area, or which is a former area of support that acted after hours on Friday. So the only way that I am going to touch this piece of garbage of digital world acquisition would be at $50, because, as I just said, guys, we are talking about a former area of resistance in which the bulls or whatever, I don't know, does this special purpose acquisition company have actually any bulls out there? So this is a former area of resistance in which I think that from a technical standpoint, this piece of garbage is likely to find some support at. And now let's go ahead and take a look at Shiba Inu, guys. And oh boy, this was a very, let's say, active weekend. The weekend that ended yesterday was a very active weekend for Shiba. So in my case, guys, you know that I have been taking trades on Doge. I have been getting a lot of questions about what do I prefer, Shiba or Doge. So in my case, guys, the only thing let's say that I took a deep dive into Shiba last weekend, and I found out that definitely Shiba is a way better proposal relative to Doge, right? So in the case of Shiba, one of the aspects that I didn't like about this meme coin was the supply. The supply was absolutely insane, like 1 quadrillion Shibas, right? But I found out that whoever created Shiba, I don't remember his name, so he gave Vitalik, the creator of Ethereum, 50% of the total supply of Shiba. And Vitalik burned or destroyed, let's just put it that way, 90% of the Shiba position or of the Shiba coins that he was given. And he gave 10% of the remaining 10%, let's say, he gave it to a charity in India. Additionally, so the supply is no longer a concern for me. Okay, I finally found out what was going on over here. So another very positive aspect in the case of Shiba is that Shiba has Shiba Swap. So for the most part, we can swap Shiba for Ethereum or for any other Ethereum-based tokens, which is very positive. And on Shiba Swap, we can also find up to 10,000 NFTs available. So that is something that Doge doesn't have available either. That's another, let's say, advantage that Chip has in regard to Dogecoin. And I also found out that Shiba has a supply burn mechanism to make it deflationary, which is in the case of Doge. Doge doesn't have any supply burn mechanism, and Shiba is more decentralized than Doge, guys. I also found out that 20% of Doge, guys, of Dogecoin comes from one single address. That's a lot, guys. So whoever sells out of that 20% supply of Doge would be able to dump Doge, in a very aggressive way. And in the case of Shiba, we don't have any address, that holds 20% of it. So definitely, guys, hands down, Shiba is a way better meme coin than Doge. However, this meme coin is extremely severely overboxed over here. I am not planning on purchasing any Shiba at $41.95. If Shiba happens to drop down to $28.28, which acted as lower support for this meme coin from October 18 up to October 23rd, that would be an area in which I would be interested in picking up some Shiba. $28.38. 28, 30 or something like that. So I am not in a rush in order to pick up Shiba, but definitely, guys, I just wanted to, let's say, fix what I said about Shiba like 2 weeks ago, because I wasn't able by then to carry out a deep research work about Shiba. And yes, Shiba is way better than Doge. I am not going to buy Shiba. I am not a bull. I am not going to buy Shiba over here at 41.97. But if we happen to see a drop, I am going to be a Shiba buyer, no doubt about it. And with Shiba Inu, I am going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to this channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel, in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.